What's up, everybody? It's Kyle once again with another episode of Unlocking Your Inner Strength. This is episode 118. Today's episode, I have not done one like this in over a year. I did the first two installments of my rules, so I call it Kyle's Newell's Rules. Way back when, it was just kind of life principles that I believe in, that I try to live by, that I've learned either through mentors, coaches, or putting my own twist on it, and hopefully it can help you. I believe these are Kyle Newell's Rules 11 through 13. 1 through 10, you can look back at the old episodes to find out. And yes, I got the blue blockers on. You know what that means? It means I'm outside. It's a little chilly, but I love the fall weather, so it's all good. Puts me in a good state of mind. So, rule number 11, hop right into it. You have to protect your time in life. This is crucial. When I was an elementary school teacher, one of the lessons I would always teach to third and fourth graders was about their time and how valuable that was. If you lose money, you can make it back. If you lose material possessions, you can make it back. As you get older, you can't get those years back. Time is the most valuable thing in our life and what we do with that time. People do not realize that we have time vampires out there, energy vampires. These are the people that will not hesitate to waste your time because they do not value their own time. These people, what's up, Andre? These people will do anything they can to tell you about their problems, to tell you about their worries, to gossip, which is a terrible waste of your energy, which we're going to go over next. So you have to be militant. So when I was teaching, going back to that, one of my colleagues would either talk, complain, whatever, on and on and on. So I actually rearranged my schedule. So when I would get to school, I'd get there 30 minutes early. I'd go set up in an auxiliary office that the principal allowed me to use, that nobody was using. And I would study in there. I would work on my business in there. When lunchtime came or prep time came, I went there because I refused to allow anybody to take the precious, valuable time that I had to work on my business at the time and to work on myself. If you look at Stephen Covey's quadrants, he's got the 4 quadrants, 7 skills of highly effective people. Great book. But you have basically the important, the non-important, the unimportant, I should say, the urgent, and the unurgent. Now, quadrant 2 is the important stuff that is not urgent, but yet that is where we should spend the majority of our time. And it's relationships, it's planning, preparation, it's self-care, it's all this stuff, self-improvement. That stuff is not urgent usually. We always think it's going to be there. There's always going to be time for it, but that's not the case. That's where 90% of your time should be spent. So if you can look that up online, Stephen Covey's quadrants, when you go to plan out your week, and that's another way to maximize your time, focus on quadrant number 2, which feeds right into rule number 12 that I live by. Put your energy first, your own energy. So I'm a firm believer that you have to put your own mask on first. If I don't take care of myself, as an example, I cannot be the best husband or father or boss or friend or individual that I can possibly be. If I'm letting everybody else come first, it's an energy drain, which ties right into your time. So time management is not really about time, it's about energy management. Now, as far as how we're going to use that energy, there's something that I practice called the F5, okay, the F5 system, which is fitness, finance, focus, family, and fun. Those 5 things. Every day I score myself on those things. I can get a 1 possible point for each of those categories. So each week I can get up to 35 points. The times that I put those things off until later in the day, or majority of them off, they don't happen usually. When I let other things get in the way of managing myself and my state first, nothing good happens. Your energy is your greatest asset that you possess. So time is the most valuable thing outside of ourselves. But energy is the greatest asset that you have. What's going on, Ray? Energy is going to lead to confidence. That's your second greatest asset. So if you're trying to accomplish anything in life, you got to realize that we need energy and we need confidence. Got to keep ramping those things up. To create anything in life requires a tremendous amount of energy. So if you're trying to create a new circumstance in your life, you cannot bring the same energy you currently possess to that endeavor, or you'll just peter out. You'll fizzle out. Mad Dog is in the house as well. I see that. What's up, Mad Dog? So, putting your energy first, for me, that's meditation. That's my water intake, making sure I get a sweat on every day. Self-improvement, making sure I'm reading. Making sure that I'm reaching out to somebody every single day to tell them that, hey, I appreciate you. You mean something in my life. And with that, I write Devin, not every day, but Monday through Friday, a nice little note in a notebook that I keep for her that she can read through at any time to give her a little boost. At the end of the day, I focus on strategic confidence, which is what were my 3 wins for the day. And I write that down every day. Very important. The brain is hardwired for the negative. So if you don't constantly focus on your little wins each day, you're going to overlook them. And it's very easy to shift into a downward spiral. So far we have protect your time, put your own energy first. And the last one, Kyle Newell's rule number 13, that's actually pretty hard to say. But number 13 is you got to have fun. You got to have fun in life. A lot of times, me and Devin will be talking and you're thinking, and Prasad, I'll go over that in a second, buddy. Prasad said the weekend was amazing, filled with positive energy. We had Prasad's bachelor party, which I'll talk about in a second. But you got to have fun. So a lot of times Devin and I are talking, and there's a lot of different projects we work on. Obviously we just opened the second gym, and I had to manage my energy. I've got to really be focused with my time. I basically have 3 to 4 high focus blocks of 4 hours per week to work on all the stuff I'm working on. But when things get stressful, right, I always tell Devin, I say, but this is actually fun. This is fun. Life is a game that you cannot win, and I've talked about that before. It's a game that has no ending until you die. You can't win it, but you got to play it. And part of a game, the big part of it, is to have fun. If you don't schedule your fun, it's not going to happen. Now, that doesn't mean each weekend you can go away and party and blah, 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 all this stuff. But it does mean you got to schedule some stuff in that you like to do. For me, that might be reading fiction, might be watching Bigfoot videos on YouTube, which I actually love to do. That's usually a nice way for me to wind down. But you got to schedule it. And that fun could also fall into making dates with your spouse, creating dates, time for those dates. But fun will instantly raise your energy. So 2 things I can tell you that will directly impact number 12, which was put your energy first, is be the bumblebee. I have a bumblebee tattoo on my arm, and people say, why does he have a bumblebee cartoon on his arm? It's to remind me to be the bumblebee. The bumblebee doesn't know the vast impact it has on the world when it pollinates and flies around. So when people go to kill these things, they don't realize the impact they're having on the planet, and it's like that butterfly effect. So when you're feeling down and you're feeling out, reach out to somebody, shoot them a text, do it right now, do it today, and tell them how much they mean to you. It instantly raises your energy. And then having fun, right? Laughing will instantly change your brain chemistry and create more fun in your life, which will dramatically increase your quality of life, your experience of life, not just your life experiences. And that's something to think about too. Your experience of life and your life experiences. All this boils down to is, would you rather add years to your life or life to your years? I'd rather do both. But if you put a gun to my head, I'd rather have quality of life in the time that I'm here. We're not promised anything. That's why you got to maximize all of this stuff. So let me touch base while I close this out on the bachelor party this weekend. So my good friend Prasad, getting married in a few weeks, put me in charge of the bachelor party. Which, if he wasn't who he was, if anybody else, I'd probably be the worst person in the world to run a bachelor party. Because I'm a hermit, and I'm an introvert, and I like to recharge. I like nature and whatnot. But we actually had a great time in Honesdale, New York. The house was fantastic. We went to see the second night the new Halloween movie, which that's like a dream come true for me. I love this time of year, and that's one of my favorite series. And we just hung out. We got away from everything, got some fresh air, watched college football, and that's having fun. And part of having fun is connection. So if you heard those noises before, that was one of my dogs. Connecting on the mammal brain, on the mammalian level. There's a reason that pet therapy works. The mammal brain in us is very sensitive to judgment, right? Doesn't like to be criticized, doesn't like confrontation. Most people never actually connect, and this is kind of off on a tangent that just reminded me of when I was talking. There's one of the dogs right there about connecting, right? Connecting when we're away at the bachelor party. So if you have a dog, take time to connect with it. Look at it. A dog is not going to judge you. That is why pet therapy is so important. That's why it's such good therapy to have some kind of pet in your life. When there's other adults and other humans, we tend to be on guard. We don't let our full self come forth because somewhere in that mammal brain, mammalian brain, we're scared of judgment. What are they going to think if I say this? What are people going to think if I wear these glasses? If I tell them that I love Bigfoot stuff? And you just got to say, who cares? To some degree. But you work on that by being around people and realizing that it doesn't matter who you are. Be your own weird self. Put these rules to use. To recap quickly, number 11 is protect your time. Number 12, put your own energy first. Number 13, make sure you're having fun in life. That's all I have for episode 118. If you have time, please leave a review on iTunes. Please subscribe and hit the share button, whether that's on iTunes. And that's my timer. You can see how I'm using my time. And that means this episode is up. So thanks for tuning in. Peace, everybody.